Good evening, everyone. Welcome into your Talking Fitchburg show for today on Tuesday, October 20th. I am Andrew Banlin. I'm filling in for Jeremy today. Hopefully you all had a wonderful day. It was windy. It was okay, though, outside. A little cloudy. Warm up on Thursday, but definitely going to be raining. And then right back down to the temperatures like we've had today and even cooler. So gotta love those temperatures. Today I have for you some headlines, of course, and then in the digest today we're going to go back out to Andrea Miller with some breakfast cooking. We played that last week for you. And then Jeremy sits down with Tiffany from the Better Business Bureau, and we talk about Breast Cancer Awareness Month and some things that surround that and scams to be aware of when it comes to breast cancer awareness. So we'll tune in for that in the guest segment. We're going to get right to it today as it is a busy show. So first we're going to start with in-person absentee voting hours. Will be held at the Oak Hall Room at the Fitchburg Community Center, which is 5510 Lacey Road. Hours for the voting will be starting today. Started today, goes through Thursday this week is 8 to 6 p.m. Friday this week, the 23rd, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday the 24th will be 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then Monday through Thursday next week will be 8 to 7. And the last day for in-person absentee voting is Friday, October 30th, which is 8 to 5 p.m. Please be sure to bring your photo ID and bring your own black ballpoint pen to mark your ballot. And we also request that you wear a mask while you're in the building in the City Hall campus. So thank you for following those directions. And again, get down there and vote during those times for absentee. And again, that started today. So absentee in-person voting has started. Also, we have the drive-through flu shot clinic coming up tomorrow from 9 to 11 at Fire Station number 1 on Lacey Road. This is in partnership with the Fitchburg Senior Center, Fitchburg Family Pharmacy, and the Fitchburg Fire Department to get you through a drive-through free flu shot. So come on, a drive-through flu shot. In order to participate, you would have to have the intake form prior to your visit. You can go to whatagreatpharmacy.wordpress.com to find that and fill that out and bring it with you on when you show up between, again, 9 to 11 a.m. tomorrow, Wednesday, October 21st. Also, we have looking for some Halloween fun. The Fitchburg Public Library has some Halloween-themed take and make activity bags for ages 2 to 5 and also ages 6 to 12. These will be available October 24th outside the Fitchburg Public Library. And again, this is a limit 1 per child. So please be sure to stop on down for that at the Fitchburg Public Library. And the times there is starting at 11 a.m. and goes until supplies last. So if you would like those, please show up probably pretty early to make sure you get one of those. Also, we have trick-or-treat recommendations and resources. With Halloween approaching, the City of Fitchburg recommends community members closely monitor guidance from Public Health of Madison and Dane County to inform decisions of trick-or-treat participation. For those choosing to participate in trick-or-treat activities, suggested hours of participation is 5 to 7 p.m. on Saturday, October 31st. Households wishing to distribute treats should clearly indicate their participation by turning on a porch light or front yard light. Public Health Madison-Dane County has provided a tip sheet to help keep trick-or-treat participants safe, and that's what you're seeing on the screen now. Any additional Halloween trick-or-treat resources and tips, please go to halloween2020.org to find any more about that. And last here we have leaf-free streets for Fitchburg. Now, the sight of leaves changing color and falling from the trees is a beautiful event to look forward to every fall. However, if not carefully managed, leaves can become harmful for our environment. When it rains, water runs through the leaves in the street, forming a leaf tea rich in dissolved phosphorus. In urban areas with this leaf tea enters an underground network of pipes called the municipal storm sewer system. which gives the water a direct route to the local waterways. When phosphorus reaches our lakes, rivers, and streams, it can lead to toxic algae blooms and low dissolved oxygen levels in murky water. Phosphorus negatively impacts aquatic life as well as recreational activities. But not to worry, they're here to help clean up the streets. Every fall, a major source of phosphorus of urban street storm sewer runoff. By removing leaves from the street before the heavy rains event can reduce the amount of phosphorus in the urban stormwater runoff by almost half. So they are involved with this. If you'd like to learn more, you can go to our website, fitchburgwi.gov, and you can look at brush and yard collection. So if you can help pick up your leaves, that would be an awesome help for a leaf-free streets in Fitchburg. All right, that's going to do it for me, folks. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be looking at Hy-Vee with Andrea Miller. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and do your part. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit any social gathering. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.
Hola, Julia. ¿Estás lista para tocar con nosotros? Yo tocaré mi clarinete.
Y Alma tocará su tambor.
Tambor ruidoso.
Bueno, ya sabes qué hacer, Julia.
Julia sabe.
Dado el autismo de Julia, los sonidos pueden ser muy fuertes.
Y hace música a su manera.
¡A tocar!
La detección temprana del autismo puede hacer una diferencia de por vida. Conoce más sobre la detección temprana en detecciondeautismo.org.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps. Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Join me today from Hy-Vee. It's Andrea Miller, our favorite and only dietitian here on Talking Fitchburg. So it does make her our favorite. Welcome back to the show, Andrea. How you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing good.
Glad to hear. And today you're talking about my favorite subject, breakfast. The best meal. Although, I bet you'll debunk this today, but is it the most important meal of the day? Is it the biggest and best, meal by far? I don't know.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't necessarily say it needs to be the biggest, but it's certainly relative, whoever's talking, I suppose, can say if it's the best. But the main focus, or one of the reasons why it's such a highlighted meal, is because we fast overnight. So we hear a lot about fasting these days, but not eating while we're sleeping can kind of be considered the original fast. So we want to have that nice break in the evening, about 10, maybe even up to 12 hours where we don't have any food coming in. It helps our digestive system relax. It gives everything a break, lets our metabolism kind of settle down. And then so our food in the morning is literally considered then breaking the fast. So that's where the importance of breakfast lies.
And when we're looking at this, I've heard, have you ever heard of the fasting, even fasting up to noon? So your first meal is really later in the late morning, and then you chow, 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 and then sharp cutoff at night?
Yeah, that's, there's some pros and cons to different types of fasting, but really as far as what's researched as far as how our metabolism works, our metabolism does the best during the waking hours, eating about every 3 to 5 hours. And so trying to avoid extremes. So technically, you know, a fast is defined as anything more than 2 hours, believe it or not. And so, so if we do every 3 to 5, we're getting a little bit of a mini fast throughout the day. And what that does is it allows our body to dip into our fat stores and use some of that energy versus continuing to just keep piling it on during the day, essentially.
Yeah, and like you said, every diet's got its pros and cons, certainly. Bringing it back into breakfast time,
Yes.
creating a meal around the family when you're not in that rush and you're able to individualize these menus. Where do you start on doing that?
Yeah, so I have some thoughts here and some ideas to share on coming up with a base breakfast. So making a base breakfast for everybody to kind of start with. And then each person can use different toppings, whether it be apples this season, bananas or berries, nuts, seeds, whatever you're interested in. And you can individualize your own. So we have kind of 3 examples where you can do those kinds of toppings. And then we also have a breakfast sandwich example where each person can kind of build their own breakfast sandwich.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for the breakfast sandwiches. So I don't know how you knew that breakfast sandwiches was going to be the thing, but you got a thumbs up for me over here. Let's dive into some of these recipes. Is this first one chai pudding?
Yeah, so that's chia seed pudding. So,
Chia, oh man.
So there's a good chance people have a bag of chia seed because they heard somewhere that they're good and now they don't really know necessarily what to do with them. So as a side, chia seeds are good for omega-3s and they're a good protein and healthy fat source in the morning. So that's the nutritional aspect of it. As far as how they work, they kind of swell up when they are put in liquid. So this chia seed pudding is just a simple example of equal parts yogurt and milk. I typically use a plant-based milk beverage to offset, you know, the dairy-based yogurt to kind of get a little balance, but you can use whatever milk you want. And then you add the chia seeds to it, stir it. And then when it sits in the refrigerator, it only needs about 4 hours, but overnight it kind of swells. And so you get this nice consistency of almost like a pudding. And then you can eat it plain, certainly, but you can add all kinds of things to it if you'd like, granola, berries, fresh banana, whatever appeals to you.
Yeah, it sounds like a really filling, something filling in the morning and something that you could probably even set like cups aside of it if you wanted to put it to go if you're in a rush. We're not in a rush anymore with COVID, not necessarily, but you know, certainly what a great idea there. I have never heard of chia seed whatsoever, so I'm gonna have to look this up in the store the next time I'm there. So.
I'll help you find them.
Yeah, I'm going to probably need that because I don't know where to look. Next one, I do have everything on hand to do this and looking forward to trying this one. Let's talk about the pressure cooker steel cut oats.
Yes. So steel cut oats, you know, interestingly enough, there really isn't a nutritional difference between the cut of an oat, so old fashioned or steel cut. It's just cut differently. Steel cut oats are really nice and hearty. And they kind of give a different texture than old-fashioned oats do. So they're not as gummy per se as old-fashioned oats. So sometimes when people don't care for that hot oatmeal in the morning, it's usually because of the texture. So let me just throw that out there. Steel-cut oats have a nice, pleasing texture. And then they cook up well in a pressure cooker because they're nice and hearty. And so it's, again, a matter of water, your choice of milk, and the grain. And then if you have a porridge setting on your pressure cooker, that's ideal to use that. Otherwise, you can do it for the 8 minutes. And then you just want to be careful you don't overfill your pressure cooker because that can cause it to kind of get too foamy and can cause some issues. So if you have a smaller pressure cooker, just cut this recipe in half. Do half of everything. So a half a cup oats, half a cup milk, and a cup of water rather than double, and it'll work out fine.
Yeah, and then as you said with the last one, the toppings on this one when it comes out, again, match it with your favorite topping, and you've got a nice nice hearty meal. And this one is served up warm. Then is that right?
Yep, but it does heat up well. So all you do the next day is just add some milk to it, and then put it in the microwave. I use a fork and break it up, and it heats up really nicely the next day, next few days actually.
Now that's the type of tips you can only get here on TF, right there. Right. That's awesome.
That's right.
All right, finally moving into my favorite one here today, although the pressure cooker one sounds pretty good. This baked eggs for sandwiches.
Yes.
Very interesting concept here, but you've got some great ideas here.
Yes. So take into consideration with this recipe, if you have a larger family, you can double this in a 9x13 pan, but I give the ingredients for an 8x8 pan. It makes about 9 squares of the egg bake. And so what you're essentially doing is you're using hash browns as a base. You don't need to cook them in advance. Hash browns or shredded potatoes as a base. Add your egg mixture on top and bake it. And then it'll be nice and solid, and then you can cut it into squares, and then each person can build their own sandwich. So if one person wants to use an English muffin, another one might have a biscuit or a bagel, or someone might not even want to put bread on it and then just put some sauteed veggies over it. That's great too. So those squares do heat up well in the microwave also. And then you can use it for several days in a row.
Yeah, this one I'm so pumped to give it a shot because it's super easy, and then like you said, set it aside, and put your favorite stuff on. And if you are a meat lover and you're trying to I want to supplement the meat with something, but where do you start? Do you look at that Canadian bacon versus a regular cut? Thick cut, what do you recommend?
Sure. I mean, Canadian bacon is a nice choice simply because it's usually cut the perfect size. So there's really no fuss with it. You can just put that on top. The other nice option is if you wanted to add some meat is deli meat. If you have deli meat in your fridge, if you want to heat it up a little bit first in the microwave or in a skillet, that's great. But you could put that right on top as well if you want to add some meat to your sandwich also.
Yeah, that's a pretty smart idea. I was thinking some ham or turkey there, not a bad option.
Yeah.
All of these, again, probably good at reheating. Any tips on the reheat on that the egg bake there?
Yeah, good question. I usually like to add, and actually this is kind of with reheating anything, I just add a little bit of water. You add a little bit of water, just a little dribble. It helps with the moisture when you rehydrate in the microwave or reheat in the microwave, and so it keeps the moisture so it's not so dry.
There you have it. 3 easy recipes here, and get you picking up after that big fast overnight and getting going for the rest of the day. Andrea, thank you so much for sharing these with us and the tips. We really appreciate it. And if more people want to learn more about these or anything else you got going on out there, how can they get a hold of you?
Easiest way right now is to email directly at andreamiller@hy.com. And I travel to 3 stores in the Madison area.
She's very busy, but if you give her an email, she'll get in contact with you. Yes. Andrea, thank you again for your time as always. Look forward to checking back in with you later this month.
Okay, sounds great.
All right, Andrea, you guys got to try this. Get on in here and try some of this food. It's really good stuff. And I'm feeling really bad that we weren't able to be in person today to smell all the aromas of this. But again, we'll check back in with her real soon. Take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
Touchdown! Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
I'm gonna need that back.
No.
Kevin!
So how was work?
It was 1,300 hours. My math class from 302 was in the trenches. Davy Roth had it the worst. Fractions were coming at him left and right. He just didn't get the damn things. 2 days ago, I tried to teach him what 1/4 of 1/2 was using different sizes of blocks. Yesterday, I tried again by dividing up pizza. Both missions failed.
Oh, no.
But today, I was ready. I created a combat math game where the only way to beat the enemy is to out-fraction them. Davy conquered every last denominator. My game was so successful, the principal is deploying it to math squadrons all over the school. Anywho, how was your day?
Oh, today my boss treated the office to salad wraps.
Salad wraps.
I know.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
You're the engine that makes all things go, and you're always in disguise, my hero. I see your light in the dark, smile in my face when we all know it's hard. You're doing a good job, a good job. You're doing a good job, don't get too down. The world needs you now, know that you matter.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from the Better Business Bureau, it's Tiffany Schultz, and she's here to deliver on some more safety tips. And this one's a special topic, as we're going to be talking about Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and making sure that you are giving and purchasing things and are getting to the right charities, the right places for the research, as breast cancer awareness has become, the awareness campaigns have been wonderful throughout the years, and more awareness out there means better research and a better life for all. But when we're talking about scams in this, which is very unfortunate to talk about, we want to make sure it gets a legit place. Tiffany, tell us a little bit at what BBB is looking at in making sure you're safe during this month.
We all know that breast cancer awareness is top of mind throughout the month of October, and we see merchandise in the stores from pink ribbon merchandise, either apparel, housewares, accessories, the list goes on. And a lot of that is designated for breast cancer awareness, which is great. But you need to look a little bit closer when you're purchasing that merchandise. Look at the tags on the merchandise. Is there a portion of your sale being donated to charity? If so, what is the portion of the sale being donated? And is it a vague claim, or is it a specific charity that's being represented? You want to make sure that you know that before you purchase the merchandise, because if it's your intention to purchase merchandise with part of the funds being donated to charity, you want to know that it's really getting to a charity instead of being pocketed in somebody else's pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. Super important. And there is a lot of merchandise and stuff out there. So checking into that, probably even before you go out and make that purchase, whether it's online or in person, to verify that, super important. One of the ways that you can verify, and something that's partnered with you, BBB, is give.org. Why is that website so important when we're looking at charities?
Give.org is BBB's charity handle. So just like you can check out a business on bbb.org, you can check out a charity on give.org. And those charities that are listed on give.org meet BBB's 20 charity standards of trust. So really important to check out the charity, especially if you're unfamiliar with the charity. For example, if something is listed on that breast cancer merchandise, you're not familiar with it, check us out on give.org. You're going to find a lot of information about that charity.
And then something that probably was very popular, maybe not as much this year, but if you are participating in an in-person event, what should we check in ahead of time before doing this not related to COVID?
If you're participating in an event, and sometimes these events have gone virtual, whether it's a fun run or it's some other type of charity event, make sure that you've read the fine print. What is the contribution? What are you expected to raise? Are you expected to raise a flat fee, or are you expected to raise, for example, so many miles run? Really important to know exactly what you're raising money for and where that money is going to go as well. How is it going to support that fundraiser? What is the percentage that's being donated to the charity versus administrative costs? You really want to know that information before you participate in any type of event.
I like this bullet here. Take action in what you're doing here. Take responsibility in checking ahead of time, I think is the best message you could report today.
If you can't participate financially, there's still other ways to participate. And you can do that by reaching out to the charity yourself and seeing what type of volunteer opportunities. So it's your gift of time versus your gift of a financial donation, and charities appreciate that just as much as that financial donation.
All right, and that give.org, I did not know that that was part of BBB, so I'm glad I learned something new today, and certainly check that out if you are checking into charities, and donate what you can to any charity. Cancer is so devastating in our lives, so hopefully people can check that out. And Tiffany, if people want to learn more about this, how can they do that?
Check us out on bbb.org.
Fantastic. Tiffany, thank you so much for your time, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me.
All right, take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
I expected it to be a lot easier.
I thought it was going to be a piece of cake. I didn't know what step to take next.
I was transitioning from the military. I was a vehicle gunner.
An avionics specialist.
I was an MP, military police.
My friends thought I could do anything.
I missed my unit, my family.
Playing with my daughter, I felt like a stranger.
I was overwhelmed.
I couldn't sleep.
I just wanted to be by myself. I didn't have a clear sense of what to do next.
I was too proud. And then I thought, if I'm going through this, other veterans have gone through it too, right?
I started to open up.
And it made a huge difference.
So I reached out, and I saw that I wasn't alone.
Because before I was able to take on my next mission, I had to take on just taking care of myself.
To find purpose.
We are not alone. Other veterans have transitioned from the military and overcome mental health challenges. Visit maketheconnection.net.
Gaining weight was easy. All I had to do was sit down and eat. Losing weight's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes every step, every choice, every day very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. I want to thank Tiffany for joining us today and talking about some scams surrounding breast cancer awareness. And also, again, Andrea Miller for the wonderful cooking tips she had for us for some breakfast tips. All right, that's going to do it for us today, folks. Don't forget to check us out. Stay connected with Fact TV. We are everywhere. It's fun, fast, and free, as Jeremy says every day. Until tomorrow, folks, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow at 6.